Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Recovery Concepts Daily Recovery Snack. I'm Chris on this beautiful Sunday, April 19th. I hope this finds everybody well and safe and getting ready to make it a good Sunday. As you can see, I'm home, back 13. I added it up. I think it was like 13,300 miles over the past 10 days that was my travel, if you will. About close from the commuting from home to the airport to destinations, and back from destinations back home. 13,000 and just short of 300 miles, I think. So anyway, but it's nice to be home. Nice to be on the home field, if you will. Again, hope everybody's well. Let's dive in and see what we got on this 19th of April. Flying by, man. I'm going to butcher this. This is a quote from Frank Kafka. It's often safer. It's often safer to be in chains than to be free. Some days we wish we could have stayed in a nice, safe detox unit or treatment center forever. Our choices and decisions were easier and the temptations were further away. Freedom is a challenge for us. We can do anything we want with it. But we had better choose a path and do what we really want to do, or our freedom will be our downfall. Why? Because living with our freedom is like riding a bicycle. As long as we are willing to pedal our bike, we can go many places. If we stop pedaling, sooner or later we will fall over. We can do many things with our lives as long as we are willing to do the work. We can coast a bit to rest, but too much coasting means we fall over and go downhill. Our recovery program teaches us to pedal, to do the work we need to do to stay safe, to stay free, and to use our freedom in the best possible ways. Prayer for the day. Higher power, thank you for the freedom to choose what I make of my life. Please guide me as I pedal and help me find my place, my pace, and my path. Today's action. Today I will think about the times in my life when I enjoyed the ride. What choices was I making about how to use my freedom? What happened? I will talk about it with a friend and how it was for him or her. Um, Now I pull out of that, you got to work. You got to work to get it, whatever it is. And I'll promise you too, I found during my journey that you're gonna put in work anyway. If you're in active addiction, you're putting in work. If you're in active recovery, you're putting in work. You just got to pick out which work you're willing to do. What are you willing to do? As I don't know about y'all, but the addiction that I found myself in, the way that it was or whatever, man, that wasn't that was work. I mean, literal work. Um, I can also relate very heavily. I've been in 3 treatment centers, and I can relate about wanting to stay in a detox unit. And it's funny how that worked for me anyway, because it was phases. When I found myself there, I didn't want to be there. First thing I wanted to do was run. I wanted to immediately get away from there. Um, as I stayed there and got my head cleared up, and I got to thinking about things, a lot of feelings hit, man, and I realized, there's work to be done. That I've got to make some changes. These things have got to stop, man. All the fear came in. What are you going to do? How you going to live? Who you going to be? Who's going to want you? All kinds of fear. Um, and then over time, it talks about being a safe place or whatever. It was funny. I got there and I didn't want to be there. And then I kind of settled in and did the work. And then when it came time to go, I was fearful of leaving. It was a safe place. Make no doubt about it. People get high and people sneak in liquor or whatever into treatment facilities. Um, but it ain't all the time, and there's a whole lot less temptation of doing things like that and availability of doing things like that in treatment. So I considered it a safer place as I was getting my feet underneath me or whatever. Um, but the freedom the freedom that recovery produces, or is produced in my life, in my experience, was just unattainable in active addiction, or even heavy usage or whatever. I was chained, man. I was a slave. I was absolutely um, at the behest and the will of my alcohol and drugs. It always came first. It always was the first consideration. As I just talked about coming back from the 13,000-mile composite trip, I was in a different country. Was in a different continent. I've been in different states during the journey. I've saw things I've never seen before, possibly never see again. I got to visit with family um, during some of this journey, this recent journey, and I was available to experience it all, um, feel all the feelings, be in all of the areas that I was in. And see and feel some of the history and some of the culture, and see and feel some of the history and the love and the reconnection of family members, and the upkeep of our relationships, even though we're in different states or whatever. It's just something to not be missed, man. The big book talks about it's that this new life is something to not be missed, and I'm not verbatim on that at all. I'm probably off a little bit, but it's close. But those things are not afforded to me if I don't run my recovery program, if I don't pedal. If I don't pedal my bike, man, I will fall. I will fall over, and I've done that before. Again, I've been to 3 treatment centers, which obviously means I didn't get it the first time. And when I work this program, it works for me. If I stop working this program, even knowing I can't drink and use successfully, even knowing that it'll happen to me again, um, I I don't understand the vicious circle of it. I've stopped trying to figure it out, and I've just decided that I'm just going to do it again today, if that makes any sense. In the most minute um, way to explain it, I'm just not going to try to understand, and I'm not going to damn sure not going to try to fight it, because it always wins. I'm just going to do it again today. I'm just going to do it again today. Um, and I'm a big proponent of habits, and what that turns into me through a daily, um, day in, day out, doing this thing all the time, is it just turns into a habit. I get up, man, I do what I do, I get my coffee, and I come and do my readings, I get in contact with my higher power. I think about, where I'm at, what I'm doing. I absolutely, think about some gratitude that I got for how things are these days. And forward I go. It's a program. you know I have to remember I cannot stay sober on work I ain't done. And it's I put in the work. Thank God the work's much easier than active addiction. um, I put in the work to be in recovery on a daily basis, and it's just a better way to live, and I choose it, and I'm grateful that I had the opportunity to do it again today. So now I'm most definitely rambling. But I'm glad you're here. Please share, subscribe, like, tell a friend. All the stuff. Trying to get this thing built up. And I'm glad you're here. And if you feel moved to do so, please come on back, and we'll do it again Monday. Have a blessed day. Take care. And see you soon. Peace.